So we're brewing another red IPA today. I finished the sack rest at 67. I've got it set on 70 at the moment. It's just crept over a little bit, but it'll drop back. Just going to give it a bit of a rest at 70. Then I'll take it up to mash out, and I'll pull the basket as per normal. So easy to do. I've just spent the last hour inside watching telly while it's been doing its thing. Not much else to do really. Versus the old way where you would be boiling water, checking it with a thermometer, getting it up to like 4 degrees over your strike water temperature, and then pouring into your mash tun, doughing in, check your temperature again, keep stirring it, check your temperature again, stir it again, and maybe add some cold water if you've gone too far, or a bit of more hot water if you've gone too low. It's a lot easier than doing it like that. Just put your grain in, and off you go. The recipe for this one's 6 kilos of marisota and 200 grams of Carafa 3. It's the first time I've used the Carafa 3. I'd usually use roasted barley for this recipe, but availability wasn't really there. So I'll pick up on the next video when I do the sparge.
So what's up? Let me see what degrees is it. It's 80 degrees.
80 degrees?
Yes.
Almost. It's 78 degrees. So we're at 78 degrees. It's been mashing out for about 10 minutes. So I'm ready to pull the basket. Got the sparge water, 11 litres, sorry, it was 22 litres of strike water and 11.5 litres of sparge water. So that's heating up at the moment. So as it goes, put this in this. Yeah, it's pretty simple. That's about it for now. I'll be back. So we're gonna take out the basket. It's just a case of lifting.
Are you using the video?
Yeah. And then turn it around. So it sits on those little lugs. And we'll just pour the sparge water over the top. It's a bit hard to do one-handed. I let it get down a bit low while I was trying to get the camera set up. But you just want to keep the water above. There we go, that's the whole lot. There we go, it's all in there. So all the sparge water's draining down through the grain bed into the boil kettle. So now we'll turn it up to boil. Put it on normal. So now we're catching the final drippings of the sparge. Well, it's coming up to boil. It's up to 83 at the moment. I've taken the ring off. And I know probably people are going to say, oh, you can't do that. I like to give it a little bit of a press, just to make sure we're getting everything out of it. This batch was a bit of a high mash, low sparge, aiming for a high gravity at the end, so yeah. High mash, low sparge, yeah. So it's not being sparged with much, so it's not diluting the wort very much. Grain is cheap. I'd rather just use more grain than wash with more water. I only want to get 23 litres at the end, so yeah. Anyway, I'll be back. So now the malt pipe comes out and that goes into the pot. And I'll leave that next to it because that's where the chiller's going to sit in the transfer. So this is up to 90 degrees now. And we sort of wait for it to boil, and then we'll start doing the hop additions and stuff, and we'll do a whirlpool with another huge amount of hops at the end, and we'll do another transfer. See how slow this one ends up. I think the last video I had some faulty Whirlflock tablets. So, well, faulty as in they'd been sitting around for a long time. I'd finished the packet that I had, and I grabbed some of these because they were like sort of backup ones, and it didn't coagulate as well as I would have liked. So I've got a new packet of Whirlflock, and hopefully this one will block up a little better than the last one did. We'll see how we go. Here I am, I'm hoping that it blocks up. I'm not really hoping that it blocks up. I don't want it to completely block up, but when it blocks up, it does help to not only slow down the transfer. I know it's got a tap on the chiller to slow it down, but it helps to filter out the tube. I've experimented with mesh over the top of different sizes, and I've found that the standard size holes in the Grainfather filter are pretty much spot on. Any bigger, you start letting too much hops through. Any smaller, it blocks up. So I think they've hit the magic number on that one. Yeah, Brewdog hanging around. Anyway, so the pre-boil volume. We've got 30, 29, 28, 27 litres pre-boil. I didn't bring home the refractometer from work, so I don't really trust doing hot hydrometer readings, so I'll just wing it, I suppose, as to whatever the gravity is. I'll check it when it's cold with the hydrometer, and yeah, whatever we get, we get. Hopefully it's pretty close to about 1065, 1070. See how we go. So I've got some foil over the top, covering the hole. Just getting it up to the boil quicker. Just a little tip, I suppose. So we've reached the hot break. Getting ready to go for the low switch. No, I think we're right. Yeah, we're past it now. Can be a bit of a hairy moment sometimes. There's not much headspace. And you know that if you can't control it, people, just flick it up to low, and it'll drop the head. It'll drop down a bit, but I've got it under control, so we'll leave it on high. Good spot for it there. You can just flick it with your foot if it starts to get out of control. Anyway, there you go. a little bit darker than I expected, but hey, it's still beer. I'll still drink it. I've got 35 grams of sorachi Ace. So we've got 10 minutes left on the boil. 1 Wolflock tablet. $29, $28, $26, down to 25 litres. So now the chiller's hooked up and running, with the boil still going, to sanitise the chiller. Okay, so the hops are going in. Turn off the boil. And we start whirlpooling. What I'll do is I'll whirlpool this for about probably 5 minutes or so. And I'll turn the chiller on and I'll start running the chiller. And when it cools down to about 80 degrees or so, maybe 75, I'll transfer it over to the fermenter. Easy as that. So now I'm just going to let it sit. And then I'll transfer it to the fermenter. And so now we're transferring into the fermenter through the chiller. Flow is fairly slow. Probably could be a little bit slower, but it's not too bad. It's cold. You can see that there's droplets forming. There's droplets forming on the hose. It's that cold. Well, I mean, it's hot outside, but it's probably 20 degrees. So yeah, there you go. So it's starting to block up now. It's coming out really cold, and it's still coming out, but it's very clear, so it's doing its job now. Only a couple of litres has come through already, so that's what you want. Nice clear water, nice and cold, ready to pitch the yeast. So it's happening pretty slowly, but it's happening. It's coming out extremely clear, as normal. It's flowing quite well still. Thought I'd talk about the yeast. I've been using this San Diego Super Yeast a little bit for a while now, and it's very impressive in its performance. It attenuates well. It takes about probably, I don't know, I've had maybe 15 hours until I see active fermentation, or until I see bubbling. But yeah, it seems to start pretty quick. I've been using it without making starters, so I've just been cracking the top and just dumping it straight in. Bit of a myth, I suppose. Some people shy away from using liquid yeast because they don't want to go to the bother of making starters, but White Lab's pitchable liquid cultures, yeah, pitch it straight in. It says here if you're over 1070, or if you're much over 23-25 litres, you should make a starter. But if you're not, don't worry about it. And I've had plenty of success using these. I've used 001. I've used 001 with starters. I've used 001 without starters. I've just been lazy. Just tip it in. Should be right, mate. Works good. It's good yeast. So you can really see the filter coming out now. Oh yeah, she's covered. Yeah, you can see the get on the other side so there's less reflection. Nice big pile of hops from the whirlpool, and a nice big dent around where the suction's coming off. Oops, I was standing on the hot water hose. You can see that crap migrating towards the filter down there, but it's not coming out up here. So I'm just going to tilt it over slightly. Right, and that's it. You can see some's coming out of here now. I'll just reset this. So it's here, but it's not out of the chiller yet. So as soon as I start seeing that cloudy shit coming out of the chiller, just open that back up again. That's it. Now if I dig down into there with a spoon, it's all chunky and horrible. Anyway, how much do we get? So 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Close enough. So that's pretty much it. All that's left to do is clean up. I don't think I'll get the hose anytime soon. I'm going to wait for someone to finish watering the garden. So yeah, that's another Grainfather homebrew day. Hope it answers some questions from some people or for some people. If you have any comments or anything, chuck them below. I'll be more than happy to reply. Any requests, chuck those in. You know, if you want me to try some different things. Hey, what are the plants? Not the... Anyway.